everyone, and welcome into the Sound Live Sports Network, where we've got the Everett Seagulls and the Lynnwood Royals locking horns in a 3A boys basketball tilt here at Lynnwood High School. Steve Willits and Keith Neely courtside, or at least up in the bleachers. We're kind of courtside. It's a nice view from up here. And we've got playoff implications on the line. 10 and 9 are the Everett Seagulls. They are number 8 in the Wesco. Number 9, Lynnwood Royals in the Wesco, 4 and 6 in league, 6 and 12 overall. And it really is coming down to the wire. Steve Willits, he's our abacus in the string theory. He knows how all this works and puts together as far as playoffs go. And really, this one is a matchup right there in the dead center of trying to get into a matchup that suits you.
It's huge, and let me just try to wrap this up really quickly. If you are in the top 5 spots after the season's over, and take Mount Lake Terrace out of the equation, they're a 2A school. If you're in the top 5, you automatically will get into the double elimination district tournament, which starts next Saturday. I'm going to tell you about 6, 7, 8, 9 in just a minute and what that means. But first, we're going to wait for the Pledge of Allegiance, if you will. We're getting a national anthem tonight, Keith,
right.
Even better.
Well, we'll turn it up for that. Stay tuned here. That boy's got some pipes. I hope you heard some of that at least with the, I think our audio board might have come unplugged midway, but
that was great stuff.
That was really nice stuff.
No, and to get back to what we were saying, if we can get that graphic up there again in a minute. So again, the top 5 teams are going to get automatic berths into next week's double elimination tournament. Here's the best scenario for Everett, and it's a very doable scenario. They can catch Meadowdale and Marysville-Pilchuck. They could essentially end up in what's the number 5 spot because we take Mount Lake Terrace out. Everett needs to win tonight. They really need Meadowdale to lose to Stanwood tonight, and I think that's going to happen anyway.
Most likely, yes.
And then what they really need is Marysville-Pilchuck, who they would win the tiebreaker with. Marysville-Pilchuck's probably going to beat an Oak Harbor team that hasn't won a game yet tonight. But then Marysville-Pilchuck on Monday plays Mount Lake Terrace, a 50-50 game really. And if Marysville-Pilchuck loses that game, again, depending on what Everett does, Everett could end up in that 5 spot. Lynnwood really wants to get in the 6 and 7 spot. They're probably going to have to play into the tournament anyway, regardless, in a 1-game playoff. 6 and 7 would get them a home game next week, and that's where you want to ultimately be. Game is underway, and here we go. Everett with the ball first, gets taken away. Eli Edwards throws the ball up ahead. Ryan Rapanen gets into the lane, puts up a shot, misses it, out of bounds. And Keith, as soon as we started broadcasting, right up above the Lynnwood student section here, we realized that everybody below us stood up, and we had to stand up and see over them. So a little interesting here as Everett wearing the road dark blue uniforms. And we'll get you their lineups here in just a minute. Lynnwood going with an all-senior starting lineup for senior night. And I'm sure that'll change shortly here as Bobby Hinenkamp will get some of his regular starters back in. Getting into the lane is number 10, Nathan Tuck. Gets that one to go down, and the Everett Seagulls are on the board for the first time tonight. And we'll again get you those lineups here in just a moment as Lynnwood now looking to answer. That's Vasquez with the ball, Christian Vasquez. All seniors right now. Bryce Milne passing it over to Eli Edwards. That's Andrew Warren with the basketball. Kicks it back out to Vasquez, over to Rapanen. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Milne, right wing. Kicks it back to Edwards. He's going to drive in. Kicks it out to Vasquez for 3. Hits it! Royals with their first lead of the night.
Yeah, a couple. It's senior night. You want to score on senior night, and Everett doing a good job at extending the zone. But nice three. That's the way you beat it.
Tuck missed a shot on one end. The ball was thrown away on the other. Everett with the possession one more time. Tuck with the only basket of the night so far from Everett. Starts to swing it around to his teammates. Byron Llewellyn with the basketball right now. Kicks it over to Bogdan Fesianko, who goes by Bo. We'll be calling him that a lot more, I think, than not. Or Boo, I guess. Boo Fesianko. That's number 13 into the lane. Eli Ross Rudder misses the shot. And we're going to get an offensive foul called against Everett. Lynnwood basketball with 6:13 to go in the quarter.
Great straight-up defense by Warren underneath. Made the contact, but had the hands straight pointed in the air, upright, and there was body there, but it was contact first by Everett going into the lane. So great job of ball defense.
Llewellyn getting the foul, his first foul of the game. Lynnwood starting lineups. It's Ryan Rappinen, number 1. He's a 5'8" senior guard. He's got the basketball right now. And he's going to put up a
guys.
Oh. And we're back on. There we go. A little bit of a cord issue there, and we are back with our audio. Foul called against Andrew Warren, his first. That's going to send Byron Llewellyn to the line, shooting 2. Let's get you the rest of that starting lineup for Lynnwood. Number 4, Eli Edwards is a 6'4" guard forward. He's a senior. And we've got Christian Vasquez, number 15. He's a 5'10" senior guard. Number 20 is Bryce Milne. He's a 6' senior guard. And then number 23, Andrew Warren, a 6'3" senior forward. And again, the one thing they all have in common, they're all seniors because it's senior night. So Bobby Hinnenkamp starting that particular group. We'll get you Everett here in just a moment as Byron Llewellyn hits the first of 2 free throws, his first point of the night. Your lineup for the Everett Seagulls is as follows. Bogdan Fesianko, the 5'9" junior guard. He is wearing the number 4. Number 5 shooting the free throws. That is 6'5" senior forward Byron Llewellyn. Number 10, Nathan Tuck, is a 5'11" senior guard. Number 13, the 6'4" junior forward, Elijah Ross Rudder, as Milne drives into the lane, misses the shot, rebounded by Llewellyn. And then finally, number 14 for Everett is the 5'10" senior guard, Desmond Burton. And there are your starting lineups as we get back to action here. 3 ball up in the air. That is missed by Burton. Rebound comes down to Lynnwood.
Textbook block out by Eli Edwards, is able to seal off the body low and fell right in his lap. One thing, the Everett team looks a little taller. We mentioned this when we played Mount Lake Terrace as a shot goes up, but you look at Llewellyn, he's just dominant down there.
Yeah, he definitely has the height advantage over pretty much the entire roster of both teams out there right now, and we get a jump ball. Nice job by Edwards to tie Tuck up as he drove into the lane. And you're right, we're not keeping the rebound stats up here, but Llewellyn already with a few tonight, and we're just at the 3-minute mark into the game right now, and I think he has to be one of those players when he looks at this particular roster. I think Bryce Llewellyn likes the matchups.
I like the no calls so far, or at least the calls on the attack. Everett attacking the well really, really well, but they're going right at Lynnwood bodies.
Oh, and that time Warren thought Milne was going to pop back out onto the wing. He started to cut in, and he threw it right by him. Yeah, good set of referees tonight. Ira Dunbar, who's at center court right now. He's been at this for quite a while. Tony Robinson, another guy, played college ball locally. He's another referee. And then Paul Grant is on the baseline right now. So three veterans, 3 good ones. As Rappinen with the steal, coast-to-coast layup. Ryan is on the board for the first time tonight and gives the Royals a 5-4 lead with 4:26 to go here in the first quarter.
These teams match up very well, Steve. I think we're going to in for a whale of a ball game. They both play extended, quick defense. Both attack the rim well. It should be a good contest.
Llewellyn using his size right there as that ball almost got away. It was a little bit of a dangerous pass from Fasienko, and they're going to say Llewellyn traveled as he went into the lane. Turns it over to Lynnwood with 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. Royals holding on to a 1-point lead and looking for more, as the Seagulls are actually the one that are going to have the first substitution of the night. And it looks as though number 3 checks into the game. That's Preston Campbell. Campbell's a 5'9" junior guard, and he's all over Bryce Milne right now. Tries to swing it to Rappinen. Rappinen getting it taken away by Fesienko. Throws it ahead. Campbell into the lane. No, finally decides to swing it back out to Fesienko. Back to Campbell. They're going to slow things down a bit.
Panon's got to get back on defense. He gave up on that play, and he's lucky he didn't get burned.
Absolutely. And Tuck trying to go towards the sideline there, and Eli Edwards stepping out in front of him and makes contact. And in the process, Eli's going to pick up his first foul. Checking into the game for the Seagulls now, number 1, Wes Erickson, a 6'4" junior forward. So now you got a 6'4" and a 6'5" forward out there. And if you want to even put a little more height, Murdoch Rutledge, the quarterback for the Seagulls. We've seen him play football quite a bit this year. He's another big body out there that can get it done. They're going to try to go inside, down low. Nice pass. Turnaround shot put up by Ross Rudder. Misses it. Lynnwood comes away with the board. 3:28 to go in the first.
Erickson substituting for Llewellyn, and that I'd like to see what they got, both of those guys on the court at the same time.
Nice job there as both Erickson and Ross Rudder going up for the block. Not sure which one of them got it. Maybe both for that matter, but Ryan Rappinen putting up a shot, misses, and here we go. Lynnwood with their first substitutions of the night. Alex Macias, number 3. We knew he wasn't going to be out for long. He and Edwards are the 2 leading scorers for this team. Also checking in, Alton Hammond, number 5, another one of the seniors. And then number 30, Yosef Haptamarian, getting his first action of the night.
Haptamarian, deceptive player, can shoot the 3 ball. He's slight and not real tall, but he's active, really active, and has a nice shot from outside.
Yeah, another senior, too, so a guy with a little bit of experience as he's going to get his first 3 look of the night. Keith Neely calls it. Haptamarian, open look. He buries the tray. Lynnwood with their largest lead of the evening at 8-4.
Good shooters, not afraid to pull the trigger.
And Bryce Levine, the head coach for the Seagulls, not happy with his team. We're going to keep it right here, apparently, as it looks as though we might have had a 30-second timeout. 2 coaches, by the way. This is always kind of fun. I enjoy these facts. Both coaching at their alma mater, both in their second year as head coaches, and both have been around the programs for a few years now. You've got Bobby Hinnenkamp, who prior to taking the head coaching job here, was an assistant on the girls' coaching staff.
A very good girls' coaching staff.
Yeah, the last game that Bobby coached on the girls' staff, they won the state championship.
Not a bad timing this year, Bobby.
And Bryce Levine, who and I know he's got a lot of experience. He played college ball, and his mom was a legend at Western Washington University. I think in 1999 she was voted athlete of the century or basketball player of the century up there, and still holds a lot of records, and she's been an athletic director in the Everett School District. And so 2 guys with quite the pedigree and coaching at their alma maters. I know it's a big deal to both of them, and trying to get both of them into the district playoffs now. Hey, we'll give them a pass on that one as Fisianko went up for a shot, bounced into the hands of Ross Rudder. He had a look, missed it. Lynnwood coming away with it, and now they're looking for more as they already lead by 4. 2:30 to go first quarter. Alex Macias swings it over to Haptamarian, lets one of the players go by him, puts up a shot, got a nice look, just hit back iron, and it comes down to Tuck.
Good job of man-to-man pressure. See if they can keep it up that fast-paced all game long. There's your height.
Height working out very well for Everett there as Tuck missed the shot. Wes Erickson just using his reach advantage, grabbed that basketball, pulled it down, and drew the foul in the process. Non-shooting foul, however.
And here's Rutledge into the ball game to add even more height to the court for the Seagulls. And I really do think that's an outstanding job of coaching by Levine to at least test this theory. You know, Lynnwood has struggled, and if you're watching tape, they struggle against teams that are taller than them. They have to be on. They're only getting 1 shot on offense, very little second chance opportunities, and if you can match up taller than they are, we got Eli Edwards down low, but that's really it.
And Eli's he's almost a little more of a perimeter player.
He's a small forward.
And we've seen it work to their advantage and their disadvantage this year. You're absolutely right. In a game where it's half court and there's rebounds, they tend to miss out. Nice inbound, or at least attempt there, as it goes off of Erickson. They're going to say it was tipped out by Haptamarian. But we've also seen games where Lynnwood has been able to use their quickness almost to an advantage, and consequently it's won them a few games too. But certainly there are nights when it works against them, that's for sure. And you know what else works against them? Throwing the pass.
That's defense.
Inbounds, out of bounds, and that was defense.
Absolutely,
and Lynnwood forces
defense.
the turnover.
Perfect defense and deny basketball the entire way. And as soon as that deep man breaks, you had a guy in his kitchen, so the pass sails long. Outstanding job of inbounding defense.
Everett employing a little bit of a press right now. Macias gets it over to Edwards, back to Macias into the lane. Nice job of finding Hammond down low, lays it up and in. Lynnwood with their largest lead once again. 10-4 is our score. That's how you break a press.
Yeah, absolutely. You took a chance if you're Everett to try to see if you can't stymie the half court. And now we're coming the other way. The push off by Campbell.
Offensive foul. Second foul in the game against the Seagulls, the first on Campbell.
Well, they say that was not against Campbell.
So we're going to change that to Fesienko on the play. So take one away from Campbell. We'll give Fesienko his first.
Campbell also shoved off and looked very guilty when the whistle blew. So you might have had some really tough defense on both sides.
We've seen a few shove-offs away from the ball tonight as this game's getting a little bit feisty early on here.
It matters, Steve.
I was just going to say, yeah, absolutely. It's a big game. This isn't game 1 or 2 in the season. This is Everett's last game of the season, regular season-wise anyway.
Right.
We have an odd number of teams in Wesco, and they drew the straw, if you will. They're going to finish out their season tonight, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, too. I had a conversation with Bryce Levine, their coach, before the game as Macias goes into the lane. Murdoch Rutledge with the block down on the other end. Another block by Lynnwood, but there's contact on the play, and we're going to get a foul called against either Milne or Haptemariam as we wait for Tony Robinson's signal to the sideline, and it is, in fact, going to be on Milne.
That whole entire transition started with the zone defense for Everett, and that's the reason that Campbell's standing on the line right now, is because they smothered the attack of the basketball, and Lynnwood's been able to get to the rack, and when it switched to zone, it makes it much more difficult. And the height blocking it starts the transition basketball, and then you're shooting at the other end based on the fast break.
Referee's definitely letting these guys play a little tonight. We've got 4 fouls against Lynnwood, 2 against Everett. This is only the second time we've had anybody step to the free throw line, as Llewellyn went 2 for 2 earlier. Campbell gets the first one, makes it a 10-5 game. Make it 10-6 now as he hits the second one as well. 1:12 to go, first quarter. Lynnwood by 4. They are the home team inbounding the basketball. Everett putting a little pressure on him right now. Rutledge and Campbell. Haptemariam dribbling over the center court line, and we're going to get a whistle here. Murdoch Rutledge will pick up his first foul of the game. Only the third against the Seagulls. 1:07 to go here in the first quarter.
Letting them play, but already 7 fouls in the quarter between the two teams, so it's been controlled.
Yeah, absolutely. And mostly non-shooting fouls. 5 of the 7 have not been in the process of shooting, so they've all been kind of away from the hoop anyway.
Traditionally, a lot of referees, come district time, they do let teams play. They figure, you've got it down by now. Mm-hmm. We're going to let you bump a little bit, and in districts, that definitely shows itself.
You're 20 or 19 games into the season. Why not let them play a little bit? And Rutledge tries to go inside, looking for Llewellyn. Gets batted away. Rutledge able to grab it back, and we're going to get yet another whistle with 37 seconds to go in the quarter. That one was just batted out of bounds, so the shot clock down to 24 right now.
The ball coming out of the crowd there as a Lynnwood crowd still on its feet.
Lynnwood with a steal right back to Everett as Preston Campbell hustles back. Gets it to Llewellyn, being snuck up on from behind by Hammond. Gets his fingers on it, tips it to Milne. Milne to Macias. 22 seconds to go in the quarter. Macias going up and getting swatted by Wes Erickson. Out of bounds. Lynnwood keeps possession with 19 to go here in the first quarter.
Wes Erickson 6'4", Llewellyn 6'5", Rutledge 6'4". You're not going to take it in. What is Macias? He's listed at 6 foot.
Well, he pump faked the first guy thinking he had it, and then he didn't realize the second guy's pretty tall, too.
That's a whole lot of tall oaks.
Macias going to kick this one outside. Haptemariam for 3 over the top of everything. Rutledge grabs it, passes it ahead to Burton. Burton looking to push. Haptemariam with the steal, 2-on-1. He's got Milne, passes to him. Layup, misses the shot. Rutledge forced a bad shot. Might have gotten a little contact on the play. No call. Burton on the other end with 4 seconds to go. Hammond gets his hand on it. And they're going to say he got more than just that, and Burton will go to the line to shoot 2 with 3 seconds to go in the quarter.
Erickson underneath the hoop. Is that Erickson under the hoop?
It is. No, it's number 14. That's Burton, who was the one that was fouled on the play.
Grabbing his face. Looks like he's clutching that left eye. So he might have taken a finger from Hammond on the way through, and on the double clutch heading into the hoop on the right-hand side, that baseline drive. And yeah, you got a lot of contact happening, but it's happening on both sides.
Absolutely.
The steal might have been questioned a little bit. There might have been a hand in where it shouldn't have been on the initial pick, but then it made up for itself on the no-call contact on the other end. So yeah, this is going to be a bruiser.
Yeah, we've got the trainer right now out there to kind of take a look at Burton. I think you're absolutely right there. It looks as though they're looking at his eye there a little bit, and the officials are going to take a timeout as they continue to make sure that Burton's okay, and rightfully so, they should. So it's 10-6 is our score. A low-scoring first quarter, a battle here. These two teams, neither one of them wanting to give much up to the other one right now. Again, it's a game that means a lot for both of them, really. For Everett, we talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. With a little bit of help and a victory tonight, they might get to avoid playing a game next Thursday night in an elimination game at that, and they could go straight to Saturday. The one downfall for them, if you will, or the one thing that might help them if they did have to play Thursday, and I talked about this with Bryce.
You avoid the number 1 seed, I think, don't you?
Well, that too, but the thing about Everett is, again, they're the only team in Wesco that is finishing up their regular season tonight, so they don't have a game on Monday.
That's true.
Like Bryce mentioned, I mean, that's a lot of, I shouldn't say sitting around. These guys are going to be practicing, but it's a lot of time to have to look at standings, watch other teams play, knowing that you could go 8 days between now and your next game, and your next game would be a playoff game, as the first shot by Burton is missed.
Beat up on your own team for a week. That's never fun.
And it's never quite the same. You can't really simulate true game action there when you're practicing with yourself for 8 days. As Burton hits the second free throw, makes it a 10-7 game with 3 seconds to go. Milne with the basketball. 1 second, fires it up. Off the top of the backboard, it misses the shot, and we've come to the end of the first quarter. Super Bowl Sunday weekend coming up. We've got a football score. Lynnwood 10, Everett 7. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain or other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Unclogging most internal drains for just $99 plus tax. Call 425-87 Plumbing.com.
Oh, and welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. We are heading into the second quarter of action. Lynnwood with the 10-7 lead. And now for the play-by-play, Mr. Keith Neely.
Thank you, Steve. 3-point. Lynnwood lead in a battle, a tough matchup, a lot of activity inside the bodies of both sides here. Down low and out front. Active hands for the guards. A lot of body and double teaming going on the baselines and on the blocks. And not a lot of half-court offense so far. This is probably the most half-court offense we've seen here starting the second quarter.
And that's only because they're forced to, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So against the zone, there's a pump fake. Now down, they'll find the big man. It's Llewellyn. He'll spin in. A little dump underneath. Beautiful pass on the cutter Campbell, who lays it up and in. And we've got ourselves a one-point ball game.
And the great thing about being Llewellyn with that height, you know that they're going to start keying on you and doubling up. He knew that Campbell was cutting to the hoop. Way to be unselfish. Nice assist for him.
A similar play as Milne can't quite get rid of it, and that one looked like it could have been a jump ball. It was finally a whistle. The jump ball is the tie-up between Rutledge and Warren underneath. Actually, that was Macias. Macias trying to wrap a pass back to Milne and couldn't quite get it through.
Macias continues to find the going rough down low there, and rightfully so, with those guys being a little taller than him and trying to fight his way to that basket, and there's long arms and hands all over the place, and Rutledge found his way to the basketball and ties him up once again. So we're still waiting for Macias to get his first points of the night. Let's see if maybe they can draw something up for him here. Actually, he's gone to the bench since I said that. Is wrapping it and misses the shot.
And off we come the other way as Tuck, the point guard, will dribble into the backcourt. Passes over now to Campbell. Campbell left-hand dribble, has it snapped away by Rapanen. Can he save it in front of the bench? No, out of bounds, right in front of the Seagulls. And had to be held up there by the coaching staff before he ended up 3 rows deep.
Rapanen doing a great job of anticipating that pass tonight, too. We've seen him do that a couple times already, just almost kind of laying low, waiting for it and poking it away, and it's led to a basket earlier. Let's see if he can get another one.
Ross Rudder will find the entry down to Llewellyn. It's another Warren foul on the back door on the double team, trying to front and back Llewellyn to keep that entry pass out from the sure hands of the senior post player, and that will be charged against Warren, his second.
6th team foul. One more puts Everett into the bonus for the rest of the half, and we still have almost 7 minutes to play.
Tuck will bring it into the half-court offense for the Seagulls. Down low, trying to find the Llewellyn, working awful hard against Warren. Up and under now. He'll step once and step twice and step 3 times. We'll head the other way.
Yeah, at some point, if you take too many steps and you don't have that ball hitting the ground, they call traveling, and that's exactly what they did. Nice job by Warren to hold his own and forcing Llewellyn into that travel.
Still a 1-point ball game. 10-9 here on the Sound Live Sports Network. Finally passing it around the horn a little bit against this zone defense, trying to find an open man. Lynnwood very impatient starting the offense in the last 2 trips. They'll be a lot more patient this time. As Vasquez will bring it back out. Back to Macias. Now they'll enter the pass to Warren. Spins in, has an open 10-footer. Backboard, no. Campbell rips it clear, off onto the races. He's got a 3-on-2 coming the other way. He finds Ross Rudder to the rack. Count it. A textbook 3-on-2 fast break.
And a great job by Ross Rudder, too, and certainly the right call. There was a little shuffling of the feet down there, and you're absolutely right. Campbell not wasting any time. He grabbed that rebound and really beating Lynnwood at their own game. I was just getting ready to say a minute ago that Lynnwood doesn't like to play that half-court offense. They'd rather be up and down running it. However, they like to run it the other direction, and Everett playing that 3-on-2 to perfection there.
They list number 13 with the foul call. Problem is there is no 13 at all. And now we'll have a foul on the free throw. So count the free throw on the make by Campbell. So give him the 3-point play, and then you'll charge, I believe, Vasquez will get called for a push foul on the low block, trying to run Ross Rudder off.
Edwards is going to check. Points have been at a premium day to begin with. Under 5 at this point now. Later on, we're going to be talking about this particular drive.
All right, well, there you go. He went from 1 down to 4 up without the clock issuing a single tick at the 6-minute mark here of the second quarter. Into Eli, he'll pump fake and a shove underneath. Edwards fouled. Not willing to double team. It's a 1-on-1 between Edwards and Llewellyn of Edwards. Out. It's Rapanen, no. And no white jerseys on the rebound. 4 Seagulls. Right to the glass, and you're going to have to make a lot of shots if you're going to rely on that every time.
Yeah, and the problem with Lynnwood right now is, and we talked about the 5-point play a minute ago, not only was it a 5-point play, you picked up 2 fouls in the process, and then Rapanen picks up a quick one here. You're already up to 9. Everett's about ready to go to the double bonus with 5:44 to go here in the second quarter. All of a sudden, I mean, not only are you putting them in double bonus, you're getting your own individual players in foul trouble, you're giving them free points. What looked like a really strong first quarter has all of a sudden turned into a disaster here in the second, and you better turn it around pretty quickly, because if Everett starts to get a little bit more of a lead on you, it's going to be a rough go the rest of the night.
Second quarters have been a bit of a bugaboo for the Lynnwood Royals. The other night against Mount Lake Terrace, a pair of free throws. Did not hit a field goal in the second quarter. In a game they were really in. You take the other 3 quarters and erase the bad one, and you've got a really good ball game.
Yeah, and that's exactly the case. I mean, we've seen them do that. We've seen this team go in spurts. I mean, and in that game against Mount Lake Terrace, they fell down 14-2. They went on an 8-0 run, ended up giving Mount Lake Terrace a 17-2 run. And at some point, if you give up too many of those runs, game's over.
Nathan Tuck, the senior at the free throw line, hits the pair. 10 for 11 are the Seagulls at the stripe through the first couple of quarters, or quarter and a half. And that'll help you win some ball games too, especially when they get into a foul trouble. And there will be Warren's on the hook on Llewellyn underneath, and that will be an offensive foul going. He's got 3.
Yeah. Free throws coming up here, but Everett right now on a 12-0 run. They've outscored Lynnwood 9-0 in the quarter alone. 6-point lead could become 8 or 9 here if Lynnwood's not careful.
Kind of getting away. 6-point lead, 5:33 to go in the second quarter. With the leather, here come the Seagulls in the navy and gold pipe. Llewellyn looking like a guard, wants to challenge the Hammond one-on-one man-to-man pressure. Now back outside to Tuck, gets the screen he's looking for. Hammond will try to bump. There's the give and go. A little Stockton to Malone to the rack left hand. Llewellyn.
Malone didn't usually spin like that, though. That was a beautiful move by Llewellyn. Great play getting in there, and you're absolutely right. That was a team effort all around.
Bryce Milne with the dribble drive on the left hand. On the right-hand side gets Tuck to the deck. And we'll head to the free throw line for a pair here. Milne needs to hit a pair of free throws.
Yeah. This could finally break the streak. It's 14-0 right now. Let's see if he can put an end to it here. You would hope with 2 attempts you should get both of these at this point, down by 8. Or you need to get both of them anyway, and he gets the first.
Nothing guaranteed, but Milne, the senior, pretty good free throw shooter, as Vasquez will exit, Macias back in. And Milne with a yo-yo and a spin at the free throw line with 5:04, looking for a pair of free throws. That one in and out splits the pair. And it's a 7-point Seagull lead now as Tuck will slow things with a yo-yo across the timeline. He'll reverse pivot to the right-hand side, gets the double team, looking for the open man. Top of the key, Ross Rudder will shoot the long bomb off the front iron. Ripped down by Macias. Here come the Royals. And into traffic, Macias will have to get rid of it. Long pass to Rapana, and he'll go up right hand, swatted away. Ross Rudder into the Flower Garden, coming the other way. Fasienko, no. And a travel call.
Got himself caught up in there, and that's the thing with this Everett team. Not only are they tall, they're lanky. For a moment there, it looked as though Rapana had an easy trip to the basket, and up here I'm thinking, well, they finally got the look they wanted, and here comes Ross Rudder out of nowhere and says, you're not going anywhere with that basketball. Lynnwood, if they're not popping outside right now, they just have no chance.
Deliberate pass, ticked off the fingers by Campbell and out of bounds. And Milne will re-enter, going the long way to Macias, who says, I'm going to wrap between the wickets here, cross the timeline and start the play. Back to Milne, right-hand side, a big battle underneath between Ross Rudder and Edwards. And there's the push underneath. I might have gotten Alton Hammond on the drive. Fasienko having to drop back to help defense is tagged with a foul. That's his second personal foul and the 6th team foul on Everett.
Yeah, so one more before they get to the bonus as Milne and Rapanen both heading to the sideline right now. And the freshman coming in, Jordan Glover, who we've seen a little bit throughout the course of the year. Anytime you're playing freshman varsity basketball, you're doing something right. And this young man here, we've seen he can come in. And
I like this kid.
He's got confidence, too. He doesn't play like he's a freshman out there. He's not timid. And in a game like this, they might need him to step up and do something. Let's see what he can do.
He doesn't have a freshman body. He's not the little, 7th, 8th grader that is just trying to make it on the court. He actually has a wide girth. He looks like he belongs there, and he plays with confidence, like you said.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you need at this level if you're going to.
Macias with the long triple. And hums and pops out. Here comes crashing of the boards by Lynnwood.
Rudder doing them a favor there. Just a field goal of the quarter.
We've seen
how? I mean, they and very, very uncomfortable.
I think they've had better success against. That one will draw up there by Campbell to Merriam. And it'll go back to the Seagulls right in front of the Lynnwood.
Good to see Alton Hammond getting after. Basket number 1. They've been outscored.
And there's the dribble drive by
showing a little initiative.
Lynnwood Royal. Now key now to Campbell. Pick there and coming the other way. Won't fall and out.
Get that. You need to finish, and that's
straight in the air. The balance of the make that three. Heading into the double team, Wes, you've got a little momentum.
I think if you were 25-15, it's just, like you said, a lot of free throws and for them to do that and then, to force up.
Nope. We'll take a
problems. Call Action Jackson.
Here is Steve.
All right. Are ready to agree holding on to the basketball. They're ready anyway. Speaking of players, I want to give a nice little shout out to a couple of the Lynnwood Royals tonight from their junior varsity team. Timmy Tang, he's been helping us. And Timmy's been on the score. He's been we got Timmy on the score keeping, right? He's been punching the scores in for us on the computer. And then we also have, we'll get the other name, Jalen Francisco, who's been running our camera tonight. Great job by these two gentlemen as Nathan Tuck gets the scoring going for the Seagulls in the first basket of the second half. Makes it a 27-15 game. Bryce Milne back on the other end. Lynnwood Royal fan base, they're still not ready to give up on their team. The student body back in the section, standing up and on their feet, hoping for something to cheer for. Vasquez trying to do so and misses the 10-footer. Rebound comes down to the Seagulls. Coming back to the other end is Tuck. Sets up his offense. Being guarded by Vasquez. Picks up a screen. That was Erickson that came out to throw that on him. Tuck loses the possession. Goes to the turf. And gets fouled in the process as Lynnwood's going to pick up their first foul of the half.
That might go against
they're going to call
Andrew
on
Warren.
Tuck.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, he tried to reach for it. I thought that was the two.
I did too, and then we're going to give the Seagull ball. I was trying to figure out he's
I think they got it right.
I think absolutely they got it right. So now Milne swings it over to Edwards. Edwards looking for the bucket, puts it up, in and out.
Got a nice screen, obviously a design play for Edwards. Got a good look, got his feet under him, just couldn't get it to fall.
Got exactly the look he wanted. Burton drives right into the lane without hesitation, misses the shot. Vasquez ahead to Milne. Milne can't finish. And that's what we talked about during the break, Keith. You have the look, you've got the breakaway, you need to put that ball in the basket, and Lynnwood once again missing a golden opportunity.
Boy, I think I'd like Milne to take one more dribble there to the rack. He tacked that awful high and hard.
Ross Rudder, that's textbook right there, just dribbling in on your defender, turning around, using the backboard, and that's exactly what Elijah did. He now has 5 for the game. 29-15, Everett now with their largest lead of the night at 14. Edwards reverse, misses it. Andrew Warren there to clean it up, puts it in, and Warren gets his first points of the night. And more importantly, Lynnwood's on the board for the first time in the third quarter. Makes it a 29-17 game.
And a field goal.
Yeah, that's right. It's the first one since the first quarter. Nice job. And no, we're going to get a charge called or an offensive foul called. No, it's going to be defense away from the basket. However, the basket did count.
So that was Vesienko shot that was made, and then on the baseline, Tuck goes to the deck, and Vasquez picks up the foul. If you're scoring at home.
Yeah, try following that one. Like a very tricky double play almost in baseball if you're scoring. But you're absolutely right. You get the bucket, and then the foul happened while the players were battling for a potential rebound. Vasquez, not a very opportune time to do that.
It's the second time he's done it, right?
That's right.
The 5-point
play were his fouls, and there's Ross Rudder as Burton finding him down low. Ross Rudder lays it up. His second basket here in the third quarter, 33-17. And this game very quickly starting to get away from the Royals. Milne trying to stop the bleeding in some capacity. Puts up the basket, gets it to fall. They finally are able to make baskets. However, now they're doing it after the whistle blows. We're going to get a foul called against Desmond Burton, his first foul. Second team foul against the Seagulls. Does give Lynnwood a new shot clock with 5:46 to go here in the third quarter.
Abdemariam will inbound the ball. At this point in time, you're not in complete panic mode with 5:44 to go into the third, but you're going to have to hit some buckets. There's no question.
Kicks it out to Rapanen, back to Milne. Looking for that shot. Edwards thought about it, pump faked, swings it to Rapanen. He puts up a 16-footer from the wing, misses the shot. Russ Rudder initially comes away with it. Abdemariam bats it over to Rapanen. And Lynnwood very quickly calls a timeout, a full timeout, and we will take a quick break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Welcome back to Lynnwood High School. It is senior night, and unfortunately for the seniors, they're not getting the outcome they wanted here so far. The Everett Seagulls have come in and ruined their hopes of maybe winning their last game on this court in the 2016-2017 season. Seagulls with a 33-17 lead. And going back to the first quarter, the Seagulls are on a 29-6 run right now, 29-7 run.
And the missed handoff on the inbound.
When it rains, it really pours. Turnover back to Everett. Fesienko almost loses his footing there.
That's almost a travel. That ball hits the ground.
Extremely
on the
close.
lean. It's a travel violation on the baseline. You cannot move on a dead ball on the sideline like that.
Tuck over into the corner to Burton. Burton looking down low, wants to find Erickson, finally gets it to him. Being guarded by Warren. Tuck to Fesienko in the corner. Off the back iron, and Ross Rudder getting the rebound, going right back towards the hoop. He misses the shot. Scramble for it. Finally coming away with it is Haptamarian. 3-on-1, no-look pass to Milne. Milne missing the shot. Does draw contact, however, and he will head to the line to shoot two.
Fesienko's third personal foul, and he'll head out, it looks like, after that mistake. Tactical foul, though. You're trying to keep Milne from getting the easy lay-in, so you can't fault him.
Make him earn it, absolutely. And otherwise, Milne would have had an easy look. And you know what? It's already paid dividends as Milne misses the front end of the two free throws. Milne now 1 for 3 tonight at the line. And surprisingly, Fesienko's the one that stays in the ballgame with those 3 fouls.
Went over and got some instruction from Levine about how to play defense, it looked like, the way he was stance over there on the sideline.
Preston Campbell checking back into the game. So it's Campbell, Fesienko, Ross Rudder, Llewellyn, and Tuck in the game for the Seagulls. Haptamarian, Macias, Milne, Rappinen, and Warren for the Royals as the second free throw by Milne is good. Makes it a 15-point game. Everett swinging it into the corner. That's Ross Rudder.
1-3-1 defense. It makes your guards work very, very hard.
A little bit of a luck there on the pass as it bounces into the hands of Llewellyn after being batted away. He's not able to finish, however. Haptamarian pushing it up the court into the lane. A hook shot as he's falling away. Gets it to go. Gets the crowd fired up in the process as Haptamarian getting his first bucket since the first quarter. He now has 5 on the night.
Boy, a horse shot. But sometimes you need that to get things started.
I think he gave Llewellyn H on that play as makes it a 33-20 game. Campbell into the corner to Ross Rudder. Back to Campbell into the lane. Nice layup for Preston Campbell. He now has 6 on the night. Makes it a 35-20 game.
15 points. You like the action on the offensive side. If you're Lynnwood, you're finally getting some rolls. You're finally getting some field goals to fall, but you got to make stops that you were getting in the second quarter and first quarter.
So tough as Macias now with the basketball. Nice yo-yo dribble, goes into the lane, puts up the shot, gets it to go, draws contact. Macias will head to the line to make this what potentially could be a 3-point play.
Just what you needed. For what ails you, a 3-point attempt.
And Campbell's going to pick up his first foul on the play. 4 fouls already for Everett here in the quarter. As Murdoch Rutledge will check back into the game for the Seagulls.
6'5" for 6'4".
That's Eli Ross Rudder. That's a great quarterback wide receiver combo during the football season, by the way. Saw those guys a few times. Quarterback checking in, and he gets the rebound as Macias misses that free throw. He had a chance to make this a 12-point game and missed the freebie. Everett now back on the other end. We're now down under 3.5 to go in the third quarter. Tuck back to Fesienko. Playing a little catch now with his backcourt mate. Over into the corner there, it's Campbell. Tries to find Fesienko out on the wing. Over his head, out of bounds. Lynnwood basketball with 3:17 to go.
Love the pass fakes that Everett is putting up. That's also one of those lost arts. The pump fake, the pass fakes. Hard, nice, nasty pass fakes can get a lot of guys open.
And they've worked so far tonight for them. You're seeing Lynnwood bite on them almost every time, and it's led to a few baskets in the process tonight for the Seagulls. Milne crossing the center line. Warren right back to Milne. Layup. Gets it to fall. Tried to climb back over the rim and out. Stays in the cylinder, though. Milne gets a bucket. Makes it an 11-point game all of a sudden.
Well, it sucked the air out of the gym while that thing hung on the rim.
Rapinen gets the tip. However, he throws it into the backcourt where Tuck is able to retrieve it. Everett keeps the possession. Fesienko looking for Llewellyn. Gets him double-teamed. Down low, he finds Rutledge. Rapinen thought he got all basketball. Referees think otherwise, and Rutledge will head to the line for two.
I think he got the basketball. We'll give him that.
Yeah, he did.
There was
He definitely got that.
A lot of body, and his vertical. What's the vertical on this kid? He's only 5'8" listed. He may be 5'8" basketball height. I'd say 5'6.5".
He's giving up about 10 inches on.
But man, does he get in the air? I mean, he pulls the ripcord up there.
One thing that we know about him, he is not afraid to throw his body around the court. He's a lot of fun to watch, and give him A for effort on that play as Rutledge missed the front end of the 2 free throws, and Hammond will check back into the game for the Royals as Andrew Warren takes a seat. Second free throw is in, makes it at a 36-24 Seagull lead. Rutledge with his first point of the night. 2:39 to go here in the quarter. Lynnwood could get this down to a 9 or 10-point game if they can get a bucket here. Macias driving left side into the lane, floats one up, draws the double team, draws a lot of contact in the process, and he'll head to the line for 2 free throws.
Nathan Tuck be charged with the foul. He bid on the first move and allowed Macias by him. Tried to catch up, didn't have his feet set. Had some help from Llewellyn. Seagulls have been very good about help defense, but they get Tuck for his third.
And Macias missing another free throw. He's now 2 for 5 at the line tonight. And we're going to get a timeout here with 2:27 to go in the third quarter. It is a full timeout. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain or other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Unclogging most internal drains for just $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to Lynnwood High School. Royals trailing by as many as 17 points here in the quarter. Now have it down to a 12-point game, a little more manageable as they take a quick timeout here with 2:27 to go in the third quarter. If you're just tuning in, the Lynnwood Royals on senior night here, jumping out to a 10-4 lead in the first quarter. Everett then ran off the next 14 points. Took a 10-point lead into the half. Exploded into the early part of the third quarter with a nice run, expanded that lead, and now Lynnwood trying to fight their way back into it as Alex Macias is at the free throw line shooting the second of 2 free throw attempts, trying to make this an 11-point game, and does with 2:27 to go here in the third quarter.
You can't go 18 versus 5 in the second quarter and come out feeling good. And that's what Lynnwood had, 5 points only, and all of that was on free throws.
Indeed.
Second quarter.
Yeah, no field goals at all in the second quarter. 3 ball up in the air. Campbell misses the shot. Hammond able to tip it to Haptomariam. Lynnwood now can make this a single-digit deficit if they can get a basket here. As we come upon the 2-minute mark remaining in the third quarter, Bryce Milne trying to set the offense. Macias right corner being guarded by Tuck. Bounced it off of Tuck's foot. Late whistle, and they're finally going to say it was a kicked basketball. So with 1:53 to go in the quarter, that will reset the 35-second shot clock.
You need possessions if you're Lynnwood at this point. You only down 11, yes. But you need to rattle off some possessions here in the last 2 minutes of this third quarter.
Yeah, Lynnwood very fortunate to catch Tuck's foot on that pass, by the way. I don't know who that was intended for, but it looked like it was going right for a blue jersey otherwise. So Lynnwood catching a bit of a break there on the play as Milne will head to the bench to take a little bit of a break. I doubt it will be a very long one. They certainly need him in there. Macias, floater, misses it. Llewellyn grabs the rebound, kicks it over to Burton, who's going to push it up the court.
It's a tough shot by Macias, but it's one he usually makes.
Almost a steal there. Nice job by Burton, realizing he couldn't get his hand on it, just tips it. Ross Rudder down low, gets that one to go. give the assist to Campbell.
Ross Rudder coming alive in the third quarter. He's got 6 of his 8, and they've all been from that left block.
Yeah, 3 field goals here in the quarter. As Macias floats up another one, misses it again, and for the second consecutive possession, Macias' miss is rebounded by Llewellyn. Here come the Seagulls. Campbell looking to push it forward. Haptemariam gets contact on it. Rapanian tries to throw it ahead. Fesienko was able to defend the pass there as he was intending it for Macias. Lynnwood will keep the possession, however. They will have to set the offense now as Fesienko stopping the breakaway.
Macias has to be a little more disciplined on his shot selection than he was on that last one.
The last 2 possessions.
That one he had a nice open look. A runner he usually hits at 5 feet. This last possession was not pretty at all.
We're going to see what he does here. And there's another one. A fadeaway, misses it. Ball gets tipped into the air. Llewellyn not able to come away with this rebound. However, he is able to bat it into Fesienko's hands as Everett now with the basketball. 52 seconds left in the quarter. Seagulls by 13 and looking for more. Slowing it down here a bit. Burton kicks it to Campbell, who's going to try to go back up on top with it. Macias almost stealing that basketball. Russ Rudder for 3. Back iron, bounces a couple times, finally comes away. Into the hands of Hammond, finds Haptemariam. Reverse layup, gets it to go.
Very disjointed offensive set by Everett, but extending this zone way out top. Lynnwood flying around the court, able to get a long rebound.
And that's, in fact, what they need to do if they're going to get back into this game. That's when Lynnwood's at their best right there.
Well, and you got to take better shots if you're on a half-court set. The last 3 possessions with Macias just taking it in, off balance, throwing it up over the top of the bigs is not what you're looking for.
No, absolutely not. Well, especially when you know that once that ball goes up into the air, Everett more than likely coming away with the defensive board. A lot of height down there. Burton misses this 3-pointer. Fesienko, one of the shorter guys on the court, comes up with the offensive board, goes right back up with it. He now has 4 for the game, makes it a 40-27 game. 2 seconds to go. Macias for 3, misses it, and that is the end of the third quarter. Everett Seagulls 40, Lynnwood Royals 27. We'll be right back with the final 8 minutes of the game. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network. Welcome back to Lynnwood High School. Everett with the 40-27 lead as we head to the fourth quarter and bringing you the play-by-play action for the final period. Here is Keith Neely.
Thank you, Steve. We take 8 minutes onto the clock. 40-27, Lynnwood needing a flurry of offensive output here to finish this final game in the gymnasium. Final one for the seniors. And Milne will take the inbound, cross the timeline, and enter court over on the
shot. And boy, that was just all shades of.
Campbell now inbound line to Burton, top of the key, extended man, and pump fake. Tries to find Hammond on the transition. 11-point ball game as Everett will come. Trying to get the sign from Tom over there at the score table. I don't think he sees me. All right,
he
then we
binoculars.
go.
We're way up here.
Yeah, Rapanian now. Picks up his dribble. Will have to give it to Edwards. 28 seconds now. Here is Macias, and into the rack. No good. And again, the one you wanted.
Scoring those baskets from time to time. We've seen it. We know he's.
And free throw is good. He'll have another.
As well. Makes it a 7-point game again here.
Oh, close.
Yeah, and I think that might be your ball.
Because he's back in. But Llewellyn back to the free throw line has been perfect. 6 for 6 tonight. And seconds to go. Now,
Probably
right.
It makes it look a little better on the scoreboard. We're trying to be
Exactly.
And we should talk more about what this means, too. For the folks that are maybe tuning in from Meadowdale, and I've already gotten a text from one of them wanting to know what the score. Meadowdale not happy with this running for that 5th spot.